Hi, my name is Stephanie Kabidi with Stephanie Buys Houses, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes you should be avoiding when it comes to selling your home, whether if you've done it before or if you're a brand new seller of your property. We're going to dive into it all, so make sure you stay tuned. So let's start off with the first mistake. And the first mistake when it comes to selling your home is overpricing your property. When you go to overprice your property and you want to get a whole bunch more than, what it's saying your house is worth currently on the market, that can be great because the number looks, a lot higher and you potentially could get more money for the property. But the downside to you overpricing your home and it going way above market value of what the property is currently worth is your home could sit on the market. You may have some showings here and there, but you're probably going to get that feedback from buyer agents stating that the home is overpriced, and then they'll just move on to that next property. And with the home being overpriced and just sitting on the market a longer period of time, as people continue to look at it, online with the photos and everything like that, they're just going to create a stigma in their brain and their mind that there is something wrong with the property. And that always happens. No matter what, whenever a home is overpriced and it continues to sit on the market, it just becomes stagnant, and you're more likely to get an even lower price with the property being on the market for so long, just because if you post it at a higher price, it just loses a whole lot of interest. So to avoid overpricing your home, you can touch base with a local real estate agent to give you a market analysis of what the market is saying your property is currently worth. You can also touch out to a company like us at Stephanie Buys Houses, and we're able to provide you with a fair cash offer of what your property is worth in its current condition as is. Now, the second mistake when it comes to selling your home is neglecting the curb appeal and making any repairs that need to be for the property. Now, when it comes to neglecting the curb appeal is everything. People always have first impressions right when they pull up, not when they open the door. It's literally right when they pull up to the property. They want to make sure the exterior looks amazing. And once they see the exterior and they're happy with that, then they'll take that next step and go and have their first impressions of the actual property. And that's where the repairs come into place, because we want to make sure that the repairs are all situated as well. And in some cases, there may need to be even more repairs done than what a seller could handle. And that's fine, because there's other options that you can do, whether that's selling to an investor that buys as is condition, so that makes it a lot easier. But if you can handle those repairs yourself, whether it's like a leaky sink or, if you have to replace some flooring in the kitchen or some carpet in your bedroom, minor things like that, then go for it. That can help your home and help a buyer, envision themselves being there without having to figure out, oh, there's this that needs to be completed, there's this that needs to be completed. You want it to be as smooth and stress-free and relaxed as possible whenever a buyer is walking through, so it makes it as easy as possible for them to be able to envision themselves living in the property. And if a buyer's seeing all these repairs that need to be completed, that's just going to be a little tad harder for them to truly envision themselves in that property there. Now, the third mistake I want to talk to you guys about is not getting professional photos, and sometimes professional staging as well. You got to realize that whenever your home is coming on the market, the first thing every buyer is looking at is online. So you want to make sure your home online resume is looking amazing. And that comes to making sure you have professional photos. If you have photos that are like blurry and not super clear, then it's just gonna make it even harder, like I said, for a buyer to envision themselves there. You wanna make sure it looks as clear as possible, and you don't want it to look deceiving at all. Make sure it's clear, make sure it's not deceiving, and that the photos are professionally done. And this is a great way to get buyers in the door for them to actually start, seeing the property and then have those offers coming in. But it's truly a big mistake if you do not get professional photos. And now when it comes to staging a property can be great if the property is fully vacant, if there's no furniture in it or anything like that, because that's also a great way for a buyer to be able to envision themselves living there, with them seeing, new furniture, new kitchen table, or whatever the case may be. It's just an easier way to get your property sold faster. Now, the fourth mistake when it comes to selling your property is when sellers hide information about the property. And sometimes sellers will say they don't know something that needs to be repaired, but they do know it and they just don't put it on the seller property disclosure, and that can be really wrong. You know, if a buyer comes in and they realize that you do know, that can be a court case later down the road. So you want to make sure you disclose everything you know in regards to the property. And if you are listing it on the market, you'll have to fill out a seller property disclosure of everything you know when it comes to the exterior of the property, the interior of the property, all the mechanics within the property, so on and so forth. So make sure you're not hiding anything that you know when it comes to the property. And now the fifth and final mistake sellers make is not utilizing all their options. When it comes to selling your home, you don't just have to list it on the market with a real estate agent. There's other options you can do. You can also go to an auction company if you prefer that, but you can also reach out to a local real estate investor and have your home sold for cash. You kind of just got to go based off of what your goals are. Do you want a fast close? Do you want your property to be sold as is and you don't want to deal with it anymore? Okay, then in that case, it may be smart to go the investor route. But if you can wait a little bit of time and you do want that market value for the property and you have that good curb appeal, the property doesn't need as much in repairs as typically an investor would purchase it for, then it may be smart to go the market route and list with a real estate agent. But if you just want to list with an auction company, you know, so be it. You just make sure you're utilizing all your options and don't just focus on one. You got to figure out what's best for you to make sure that you're happy at the end of the day and everything goes as smooth as possible, but most importantly, as stress-free as possible. Because we all know selling a home can definitely cause a lot of stress and it can become a lot of hassle. So with us at Stephanie Buys Houses, we want to make sure that we're able to relieve that stress off your shoulders and make the process as simple as possible for you. Whether you're listing your house on the market or whether you want to sell to us as a cash offer, either way, we are here to help. You can check us out at stephaniecashoffer.com. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.